Hi, welcome to Chrissy Creates. I hope you're all doing well. We're still busy doing hashtag ABC April 2026 together with Margreth and Toni, and I am having a ton of fun, or I've had a ton of fun. We're already at letter X today. I can't believe that we are just about through the whole alphabet. It's been challenging, some of the letters, and I feel my creativity have been challenged quite a bit, and I've learned a lot overall. Not just with crafting, I came up with all kinds of new craft ideas and stuff, but this whole YouTube journey has taught me a lot in this past almost a month. It's been amazing. Sometimes, yes, it was a bit difficult, but overall very positive. I'm very excited to continue with this journey. So for today, we are at letter X. Now, I thought last year they did, X was just a wild card, and you could basically do whatever you wanted for X. But I actually thought I was going to do wildcard and just continue with one of the pages in my mini album, and then I realized no, I still need to make extra large journaling cards. So I am doing XL, extra large journaling cards with extra large page tabs. It's gonna be fun. Please come and join me. I am going to be making these extra large journaling cards for the mini album, as I said. Just a recap, if you haven't watched my previous videos, I am using a kit that was designed by Kristen Cronenbarrow. She designs for Sweet Shop Designs, which is a digital scrapbooking design shop. So they have loads of kits with all kinds of embellishments and ephemera and awesome things you can use for digital scrapbooking. However, I like using physical paper. I like the texture and working with my hands, so I just print out these pages because I love the designs. I do link the shop below, or I put a link for the kit in the description box below. But feel free to pop around and go and have a look at what Sweet Shop Designs have available, especially if you're more into scrapbooking than junk journaling. Scrapbooking papers sometimes are difficult to come by and it's quite expensive. So for me, this is also the other advantage when you print out yourself, is you can print as many of a certain page as you would like to use. So that's a huge advantage in my opinion. So pop around, go have a look. I think it's amazing. I will be using quite a bit of digital scrapbooking kits because at one stage I did some digital scrapbooking. And I did buy, over time I did buy quite a few kits. So I do have some in my stash, and I like using what I have in my stash instead of buying new, although some of the new kits are amazing. Anyway, that's just something on the side. Let's get going. For this video, I've been good. I've already done my prep work. So I measured the size of my super large journaling cards, and it came to, I think, 7 by 7 inches I decided on. Yes, 7 by 7 inches. I already inked rounded corners. There's a good reason why there are only 2 rounded corners, but I rounded the corners. I already matted it with some of the background pages. I don't want too busy backgrounds because it is meant for journaling. So my thought was that my daughter can just record some of her memories that are on the pages. She can record on this and it will go in between the pages. Let me quickly show you. So the idea is that these super large journaling cards will slide between the pages, like this, which is also why I'm making a large page tab that you can pull it out. So this just keeps her journaling and her thoughts private, and she can share it or not, however she decides. So I just thought that is something nice to have, and I did leave an opening between every 2 pages for one of these journaling cards to go slide in. So if she needs some extra space for photos, she can use it for photos as well. That is also why I am not going to decorate it very elaborately, and I'm not going to use different textures, because you want it to be able to slide in like that. So I did round these corners so it can slide in easier. It just makes it easier to slide in. And I'm going to put the page tab on this side, so rounding the corners would have been redundant. Alright, the way that I measured it, just to help you out as well if you have a different size of album, the way I measured it is I just took a piece of scrap paper, I slid it into my page as far as it would comfortably slide, and then I just made a little mark using my pencil. Just made a little mark like that, and then I also slid it down to see up to where roundabout it would go, and I made another little mark. In the end, I decided I just wanted to keep it square, and that is how I ended up using 7 by 7 inches. Okay, so measure your own. You can make this any size you'd like. It needs to fit your project. And I just realized I should have actually made a large journal card for the back as well. Oh well, I'll do that later. Okay, so I already cut this, I already inked it, I already rounded the corners, and I matted my paper. I cut 240 GSM white cardstock for the back, and then I just cut some squares from, this is a little bit thicker than normal copy paper. I think it's 95 GSM, and I just matted front and back with the different patterns that I chose. So that is done already. Journal cards are ready to, well, sort of ready to go. Next, I would like to make my large page tabs. Now, I can't take credit for this. This was inspired by both Toni and Margreth. Both of them did something similar. I think it was both in Mass Make March. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, just head on over to their channels. I do link them below in the description box. Go check out what they did for their large page tabs. I think it was fantastic, and that is why I decided to use it. So I just printed out this wood grain paper. It's quite neutral, so it will go with all the pages. I wanted to keep it simple and just keep everything the same. Okay, next what I did was I just made a mark. I'm going to use my envelope punch because I would like to have this little notch on this the top and the bottom. I'll show you just now, but I don't want the notch in the middle of my page. I only want half a notch. And because I'm going to make it right at the end of the page, I want to know where the halfway mark is. So I punched a notch, and then I folded it back onto itself, like that. Then I just held down my punch so that the punch part will be down and it will act as a stop for my paper, and I slid my paper in from the side until it wouldn't slide any further. So that is half the notch. I just got half the notch. So then I took my craft knife and I actually made a little engraving because I actually used the center of the notch quite a bit. So I decided to make a little engraved mark. I just slid down my normal craft knife down the middle, and now I have a little mark on my envelope punch board that's going to stay there forever, and I can know where the halfway mark is on my envelope punch board. If you do not have an envelope punch board, pop a comment below if you would like me to figure out some alternatives that you can use to make these page tabs. Of course, you can just round the corners as well if you would like. If you do have a corner rounder, Or if you're very good with a pair of scissors, by all means just draw a little circle and use that. Okay, so I just want to double check. I think I did measure. So the notch is about 1/2 inch. It's a little bit less than 1/2 inch from the edge of the paper. So I would like to have about 1 inch that will cover the paper. So I'm just going to quickly cut this into 1 inch. I want 1 inch. No. I want 1.5 inch from the sides, because we're taking away 1/2 inch for the tab. So I want 1/2 inch to be sticking out, and the rest will be on the page, and I would like a 1 inch overlap. So for that to work, I need to fold it at 1.5 inch, and then I need to cut 3 inch strips. So it's easy to cut 3 inch strips and then just fold it in half and score it, brandish it nicely with your bone folder. So I'm quickly going to do that. And then I thought it would have been a good idea to just cut the whole background at 7 inches, because then I don't need to worry about the length. I don't have to go and measure these individually. So this one I will measure individually, just to get it down to a 7 inch. There we go. And then this one, now I'm just going to be clever and measure a 7 inch, but I want it to go that way. So that's 7 inches, and then 2 more 3 inch strips. I considered using my scoreboard to fold this, but you know what, it's just going to be easier to just fold it in half. So I will do that. Just want to test it. That's fine. Good, everything folded in half, and I just had the thought maybe I should have torn it. I think a torn edge would have looked amazing, but unfortunately I did not do that. It's also fine. Now I'm just punching at at the halfway mark of my envelope punch board, punching out those notches, top and bottom, and voila, that looks nice. I think I like that. So it will fit on my page like that. And then it should just peep out the side of my album pages. And then yes, I can just decorate on the tab itself. I think that looks nice. Okay, I'm going to do the others. I'm going to ink them, and then we can just glue them onto the pages. everything is inked and corners rounded. I don't know if you saw on the envelope, I just used the other side of the envelope punch board to round these inner corners, but I'm actually thinking maybe I should keep them the same size as the other side. Should I? No, I think I'm going to leave it as is. Right, then I'm just going to I'm going to glue down my the page edge tabs. First, I'm just going to make a line of glue on the side that will go on the one edge. Sometimes I struggle to say what I mean. My brain is working in a certain way, and then so it's easier for me to just show you what I mean. So that goes on that edge. So I just want to make sure that I do get these little corners flush with my page like that. Then it makes it easier to just fold it over. So I'll just do that. And of course, if you would like to, you can make these just tuck spots. I'm hesitant to do that though, because it will be going in and out between two pages all the time. So if it was just a page in a journal, I would make it a tuck spot anytime. I will make it a bit broader and I'll make it a nice tuck spot for something. But because it's going to be sliding in and out of a pocket, I don't want that. Okay. I'm just going to finish the other ones. Okay, awesome, that's done. So now we can get to the fun stuff. Let's decorate these page tabs. I think the dark wood grain is a little bit too dark for me, so I'm thinking of just adding a piece of book page, torn book page, maybe like a little strippy over here, and then I will add some of the embellishments that I printed out, some of the little flowers and foliage from the kit. But that's about as thick as I'm going to go as far as layering is concerned. As I said countless times, it needs to be able to slide in and out. So I might do a few stamps, maybe some splatters or something like that. Let's see what happens. What I know I would like to do is to add some dangles on the side. So I've pre-made these as I was prepping to do my album. So I'm thinking maybe just adding this right at the top, and then maybe this small little one around the middle of the middle tab. And these ones don't have holes in them. This one does have a hole. I don't know if I want to use that one or if I want to use this resin, but this resin one is very big. Maybe just this one. I might add some beads or something to it. I'm still deciding on the last one. But I do know I would like those two to go in. So I'm quickly going to just get my eyelets. There we go. I have these nice dark eyelets. Do I want to put them in now or first? Maybe I should first decorate. Okay, I just pulled out some Mozart. I happen to know that this is a piece by Mozart. Don't ask me which one. I didn't check now. But he does write quite busy music, so that makes for loads of notes, and that makes it interesting to use on a page. So I'm just going to tear a few strips. I did consider just using book pages, but my daughter does love music. So I just thought that will suit her personality. How broad did I want that? And I think I'm going to use the different size tees just to keep it interesting. Am I there? Let's see what that looks like. I'm thinking maybe I should rather just keep it straight or overlap it. Oh, that can work. I think I like the overlap. Oh yes, I'll do that, and I'm going to keep everything similar. It's just faster and easier to do that. And then I'm going to finish this, and then I'll come back to decorate some more. So I just pulled out my VersaFine Clay sand dune. I'm going to do a few splatters and other grungy bits. I am using Gorgeous Grunge by Stampin' Up. It's a very old stamp set that I was lucky enough to buy secondhand off somebody. And it has lovely splatters. Oh boy. But see, it's old. It doesn't want to... I actually use repositionable glue to try and get these stamps to cling to the pads. But then sometimes that doesn't work. I do love these. It's like a little paint smear. It's just a little bit of something else. Oh, come on. Maybe, I think I'll add some pink. This is just glamorous. I mean the stamp set, not the ink pad, not the page necessarily. There it fell off again. It is actually still sticky. I don't know why it's not sticking to my stamping block. Let's try and fix this. So all I do is I take this repositionable spray adhesive, it's an artist spray adhesive, and then I just spray a little bit on the back of my stamp. I don't want to spray too much. I'm just going to let that dry for a little bit. Otherwise all the glue just comes off on my stamping block and then there are no stickiness left over on the stamp. Okay, let's try this again. And we're in a whole new day, literally. Yes, yesterday everything just went haywire. I was so proud of myself. I was going to finish this video yesterday and not be under pressure today to get it edited and posted. But, oh well, here we are. So I hope this video will reach you in time. Let's quickly finish decorating these. So I took out some sentiments that I like using sentiments in, especially in mini albums, because you are creating memories and such. So I am going to use some sentiments. I'm just wondering if this will be broad enough to round corners. That is a very good question. What on earth? I'm struggling to see the black paper in my corner rounder. Oh yes, that looks nice. I don't know, my computer was doing weird things yesterday. And because we live out in the country, the internet is not very, very fast. So while I was filming, I was busy uploading yesterday's video and it just took forever. And it wouldn't upload. And then the computer updated or something. I don't even know. When technology works, it's fantastic. But when it decides not to work, yeah, it's very, very frustrating. Especially when you just want to be crafting. You don't want to be struggling with technology. And of course this one went all wonky. It went wonky. There we go. This was not so easy. Okay, every photo tells a story. Shall we do that on the first one? Making memories on the last one. I'm just going to put these like sort of in the middle of each journal card. I think that looks fine. I still need to ink around them. And then what I did do is I did put some, this is just crochet cotton that I put through this little charm, and I put a little bead there as well. I don't want a very long dangle. So I think this one will go right, or shall we put this one in the middle and this one in the end? Yes, I think so. And this one right at the start because it's the longest one. And just make it go down like that. I think so. I'm going to ink these up, punch my holes and get the charms settled in their places, and then I'm just going to do like a little bit of foliage, maybe a label, just a little small, very, very small, very flat cluster. And I think I will just add some music to the video and you can watch me craft, or I do divide my videos into chapters. If you're not interested to be decorating together with me, just skip to the end and see the flip through. There we go, everything is decorated nicely. Our XL extra large journal cards and extra large page tabs. So this is what I've done. I kept everything very flat, and I just tried to make sure that nothing will stick when it's sliding in. We're going to have a moment of truth just now. There we go, and then the last one looks like that, and this charm keeps going to the back, so I'll have to fix that, but that's okay. So a moment of truth, let's just see. There is number 1. Oh boy, that needs a bit of glue. You can see it only just peeps out, so yeah. The eyelet sort of prevents it from going in all the way, which is good. And then this one goes in there. And the last one goes in here, and I still fix that one that doesn't want to close. Oh, I think that looks this one especially looks nice because I used the same paper. There we go. Then when the album is closed, that is what you see. And she will close all of this up with a this will just with a bow. She'll close everything up with a bow. Sorry guys. Anyway, there we go. So there is our extra large journal cards with extra large page tabs. I hope you had fun with me today. I will be filming tomorrow's one a little bit later today. Hopefully everything uploads and just goes smoothly today. I'm hoping for the best. I will see you tomorrow for Y, which I'm going to take a page out of last year's book and do a You Do You. So I'm going to be making, I think it's the first page I'll be making tomorrow, I'm not quite sure. One of the two, and then for Z I'll make the other one because it does have a Z fold in it, so I can incorporate that. And then our mini album will be done. Thank you so much for joining me. See you again soon. Keep well. Bye.